Welcome to Inspired by Design, the podcast where we explore the tools, stories, and insights to help you rediscover your authentic self and navigate life with less resistance. I'm Katie Rupert, a former hustle and grind overachiever on a thrilling and messy journey. I'd love to share what I'm learning and help others in self-discovery using human design. So if you're seeking a way to move forward, let me be your weekly mindset coach and share stories to inspire you to action towards your unique purpose without the force or burnout. I am thrilled to introduce you this week to Wendy. I've been calling Wendy my sound gal now for several months. I can't wait to introduce you to her. I don't even know where to start, but I'm going to tell you how I met her. So Wendy and I met at this wellness retreat, the first few days of this year in 2025. And I was standing around chatting with her during just breakfast or some, we were just in the lobby and we were talking. I was like, this woman's fascinating. I bet she's a manifesting generator. And so I said, human design. And she's like, I do actually. I can't remember, you'd had this reading. And so of course I just whipped out my handy dandy phone. And I was like, what's your birthday? Which time? This is my MO. If you meet me out and about and you talk to me more than like 10 minutes, you're probably getting your human design type read. I just can't help myself. So Wendy, she told me about sound and this beautiful story. And I'm going to have her tell a little bit about her story about how it's just like meant to be. But I am so excited for our listeners to hear from you. So I want to start, I think I'm going to start with just sharing a little bit about you. You are a trailblazer in the realm of frequency wellness. Wendy Brennan, CFO, which she playfully redefines as Chief Frequency Officer at Soundnautic. Wendy is a Biofield tuner who uses cutting-edge technology, including the AO scan by Solex, to help both people and animals detect energetic imbalances and bring the body into homeostasis, supporting organs, meridians, chakras, and even mental and emotional states. She believes deeply in the power of education to cultivate self-empowerment. In today's inner voice experience, we invite you to tune into your energy, awaken your inner voice, and release chronic blocks. Because when your energy shifts, your reality does too. So welcome, Wendy, to the show. Thanks for being here.
Katie, I am so happy to be here today. Thank you. My favorite subject, and human design is exciting too. So let's talk about it all.
Oh, yes, I can't wait to get into this. But I just want to say, I have been lovingly calling you to everyone I know, my sound gal. And they're like, who's your sound gal? I'm a yoga instructor. I've done the sound bowls. I work for this, the Serenity Now float spot here in town. And they have this machine that uses sound frequency called Sonics, and you can pair it with music. And I'm just so into this. I know that there's something to it. Plus, I was a singer and dancer. I just love music in general. So when I came and watched your talk, like we had plans to go to this event. I think it was Easter weekend, and your business started to grow. You got a booth there to show off like what you were doing, and they asked you to speak. So I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go see my friend speak. So I listened to your session about just the history of sound therapy. I took so many notes, wrote down all these books. I still haven't read yet, but I'll get there. And I guess it was meant to be, because about a month later, I was in the most emotionally distressing experience that I had had to date. And your name came to mind. And I was like, I'm going to just reach out to Wendy because I need something fresh. I need something that I haven't tried before. And I was so intrigued by it. I reached out to you, and I mean, within minutes, it was just, I know it was out of the blue. I feel like it was like 7 a.m. And I was like, Wendy, I'm having a hard day. Can you get me in for one of these sound sessions that you do? It was so like mystical to me because I didn't understand any of it yet. And you were just so over the top generous, gave me this free tones to listen to based on my custom voice. And it was a lifeline for me that week. And I just had to learn more. So since then, you've been my sound gal. So I talk about you and I try to explain it. But I think this episode now, when I say, oh, my sound gal, I'm going to be able to give them this interview.
I love knowing I'm your sound gal.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's what I call you. Yeah, very, very endearing. I just so appreciate you and how you've impacted my life over these last several months. So thank you. Before we jump in and have you tell your story, I do this thing on Inspired by Design where I share about human design, because we look through everything on taking action on things that you've been holding back on through the lens of human design, because I really believe this is the fast forward button to using your energy, not being drained and burned out, being able to make decisions that are wise. And so let me introduce you also to Wendy as her human design type. She is a manifesting generator. So I was right, by the way, my guess. The variety is the key to life. You get your energy from doing things that you love, that you're interested in. She also has this beautiful, they call it a channel. It's a synergistic gift that you have. And the thing that I know about it, because I have it too, it's about inspiration, like having the key to where you're going in life. And it's probably going to be a little weird. So, I mean, I do human design, you do sound. Mainstream is like, what? What's this weird? And we're supposed to fly our freak flag high. And that is how we just really embrace everything and have energy for it all. So I just love that we have that in common and that it's so spot on for us. You're meant to do lots of different things. And I know that the company that you're with really has a lot of variety too. So it stimulates the mind and it gets you excited. And I know you've had so many fun stories. So the manifesting generator type, you want to always look for what is satisfying, that your life is a big buffet of options and you go towards the thing that lights you up. That's a heck yes for you. And if it's a no, it's a no, or a no for now. And that leads me to your internal authority. You've got this ability to have this depth and thoroughness when you make a decision long term. So being able to sleep on a decision that's going to take commitment or take a lot of energy, knowing that you've taken your time to consider, okay, it's a heck yes, I really like this, but is it now? Is this something I want to really commit my energy to? And when you do, it will be like, you'll be unstoppable, you're committed, you're loyal. And that emotional authority gives you that need for time to make decisions, but also I know that when you make a decision and you've taken your time to make it, you're all in. So it's beautiful to know that about you. You also, your personality profile 3-5, you need the hands-on experience. You do have leadership. And so when you learn something, even if it's learned the hard way, your motto would be, I never fail, I only learn. And I learn ways that it doesn't work. And then the leadership quality can come out there and like, okay, listen, I've already tried it 14 ways. So here's what I've learned. And then you can universalize this problem solving thing. So I love that you're doing this sound, especially through the inner voice. It's such a good example because while it's a universalized solution, it can help everyone. It's not about it being a cookie cutter thing. It's you making it custom to each person. You have the bucket of what's going to support them, having this access to this sound healing, but we want to make it custom for them. And that is the full solution. So I'm going to stop talking now because I want you to tell your story. Take it away, my friend.
I will. But I want to say the human design that you gave for me, I've already been implementing some of the little details you've told me, and it's really helped me. So yes, I have an extreme degree in confidence. It's not hard for me to see something, make decisions, work from my gut, go from there. But you taught me I should sit back and reflect just a little bit on it. And this might seem benign, but like I got all excited. I got this idea and I make this joke that I collect domain names like women collect shoes. So I'm like, oh yeah, it's a great domain name. I go in there and it's available. And then I thought, hit pause. Let's look at this later today or tomorrow and see if it still resonates. And in the meantime, I came up with something so good. I called a friend. What do you think between the two? She goes, oh, clear winner, the second one. So I would have got the first one, moved on, not thought about it, and I have a much better site. So that's one little example where that's helped me a lot.
I love it. That was perfect of the emotional authority. Beautiful. If you just wait, it's so much better.
Yeah.
Lovely.
But if you want me to get right into like how I came across the sound here and got started.
How did this get on your map? Tell us your story. And I know that
your husband has a big piece of that as well. Unlike
He does. He
our,
was there for it all. He experienced the same thing I did at the same time. I think in general, like overall, I'm a big believer and I have been in personal development. So for 20 plus 30 years, I believed in the law of attraction and what you think about, you bring about, and what you focus on, you create, and all that stuff. To me, it's no surprise that it finally showed up because I had been walking through prior steps. It's real clear to me now. When you're in it, it's not right. I had already been introduced to frequency a little bit through crystal singing bowls. So if anybody has ever gone to a session like that and laid down. So I had learned that that puts you into a theta brainwave state. And when you're in that theta state, you can relax. And that's the state where your body does a lot of healing and creativity and things like that. So that's as far as I really knew. And then one day I'm at the gym I was working out at, and I saw this lady with, oh, I'll just hold mine up. I saw a lady with this exact same thing right here.
uh-huh.
And I saw a chart, and my mind kind of went to, oh, she must be a day trader because, it's a chart. And
Yeah.
why do you have this thing up at the gym? So it must be really important. And she kind of looked at me. She says, no, I use this to help with my MS symptoms. And I just couldn't like figure that out. Like, how can a computer help you with MS symptoms? And I was late for work and I really wanted to learn more, but I really had to peel out. So I told her, let's get together. I want to learn more. And it did take a couple months because I'm busy. My husband's busy. My friend wanted to see it. And she uses it as a client. She doesn't really, promote it. So she doesn't know how to speak to it as a presentation. So she brought her friend to my house. This woman's name was Connie, and I didn't really know her. I just knew she worked out at the gym that I did, the same one this gal did. So great. We're all at our table, and Connie's going through all the different modules, and we're like, that's really interesting, But I'm learning I'm learning you can do things with energy that I didn't know you could do.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of mind blown again. But what was really compelling is she, towards the end, she said to my husband, Dave, do you have any pain in your body? And he said, well, not normally, but this week my foot is killing me. I can't figure out what's wrong with it. And she says, well, let's try something. And in a very short order, like he turns to me and he goes, this is crazy. And I said, what? He goes, my pain is gone. And I go, what? Now they didn't know us. They didn't know, he had this issue. I got excited because I was like, oh, I'm going to tell him what's going on with me. So I had been having a certain pain in my body for about 5 weeks, couldn't figure out why it wouldn't go away. It was, it would wake me up in the middle of the night because it was so painful every time I had to turn. And so I was like, maybe if I could get some sleep, this would be amazing. Maybe they could take my pain away. I'd get some sleep. That's all I wanted was some sleep. And so I told them they're like, under promise and over deliver, right? So like, well, we don't know, but let's try. And it took about 10 or 15 minutes, but they got my pain level down to about 90% gone. And I was real honest. I said, well, I mean, I'm amazed. There's a little bit there. And they're like, do you want to keep going? Well, I didn't know anything and I didn't want them to screw it up and then reverse it. And so they couldn't have, but I didn't know that. And I'm like, no, I'm so good. I was so happy. Like 90% is great. And then the next morning, my husband said, what the heck was that? And I said, I didn't even know it could do that. I don't know. Let's keep learning. And then he goes, we know it works. Can we just get it? And I'm like, well, okay, sure. That makes sense too. So I called the gal who had shown it to me and told her that we wanted to order a subscription and get our own. And that was the beginning of I had no idea my life was going to take this turn and I was going to be in this industry and I will be in it the rest of my life. I think there's so much here that we'll never get bored, right? Well, I mean, there's always so much to learn in this realm of complementary, integrative, natural healing. And in the world of frequencies, they've been teaching it. The history is so long. We've known about this in science for over 100 years, but the general public doesn't know.
Right. Why don't you tell us a little about that, because so there's an extended interview that you sent to me that it took me like 6 sessions to listen to, and it was fascinating. But can you give us like the nutshell version of like how Solex got on the map, like where this technology comes from? How do we know, how does this subscription service know where I am in space to help my custom voice? Give me the lowdown, like talk to me like I'm a 6th grader, maybe.
Okay, no problem. And so I want to say that my company is soundnautic.com is a practitioner of this. That's what I do. And I use their tools. I use their quantum energy tools and all that. Great company, great products. So the owner of the company, he many years ago, like 40 plus years ago, he adopted a young boy with cerebral palsy. And they went all over the US trying to find solutions for him, and they couldn't. They didn't have answers in our type of medical system. So he began to go to trade shows and look into alternatives. And he found some software that was created for the cosmonauts. Now, the cosmonauts are the most expensive people on the planet, right? They have to constantly track what's going on in their systems and everything. So he eventually got the rights to bring that to the US, and he started working with that. And he put Michael on a program that's a little more involved than what's in this software. But Michael was able to overcome his issue. And today he's an accountant. He's got he's a karate expert. Like he's like, you wouldn't even know they had cerebral palsy. And most people know what cerebral palsy looks like to a child in the US. It doesn't get any better, it gets worse. So that is an incredible story. That led Lawrence Swenson, his name, that led him on the path of learning as much as he could. And then in the 80s, maybe the early 90s, he created a system that he was selling. It's like $35,000. It's kind of big and clunky. And he was selling it to practitioners who would then, have you come in and charge you for a session. And the beautiful thing that happened in 2017 is Windows 10. When that came out, that changed the whole landscape. It allowed so many things to then be shrunk down into little tiny computers, like, your phone. And that's when he's like, okay. And he spent 2.5 years and a lot of money with engineers to get this software to work on a device that you can purchase and carry around with you and be able to do what you need for your body at any time.
Okay, so it's fascinating. Now you don't even need a special device. You can just use it from the internet. I think what I want to do is have you share a little bit. So Soundnautic, you will schedule these sessions with people to work on maybe a specific ailment or something that they're going through. I would love for you to take us through, like, if someone schedules through you, like, what is it they're going to experience? And then I think we should just do a little bit of walking through so I can bring up the different options that the software has, and you can tell us about each one of them. But let's start with a lot of people like myself, I was just like, I feel like Wendy can help me, just do your thing. And I didn't need to know all the details. It was after that I was like, okay, I got to figure this. I got to learn all about this, so you're going to get both here on this episode.
Yeah.
Tell us if someone's like, this is intriguing. I'm ready. Like, okay, Wendy, sign me up. What is it that you're going to experience, and how do they decide how you guys are going to work together?
So what I do is I always offer a complimentary session with one of the modules. There's like 8. Okay. So a full-blown session, you're going to pay for that. We're going to be together for 1.5 hours minimum. And we're going to go through a whole thing. After I've interviewed you, I know what you want to focus on. I've created a plan. But complimentary, we're going to explore inner voice, because every energy practitioner knows Reiki, healing touch, name them all. Emotions are the basis for practically everything that is going on inside our body. It starts with that, because we have a biofield. Another thing you weren't taught in school, right? Your biofield is your energy that surrounds you. When you walk in a room, you've walked in like 13 feet ahead of yourself. And and our energy affects one another. And that because when you're in the presence of somebody that, we didn't make up these words, energy vampire, for no reason, right?
That's
We're
right.
like, boy, it's something about this person that just drains me, right? And then you can also be around somebody who you're like you said, you were attracted to me. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to digress. I was extremely attracted to you. You were so kind. I walked in a little bit later. I was looking for a seat. You just sparkled. You're like, here, I sit down, and I got to hear about this cool weekend you had, meditation, kayaking, or whatever, paddleboarding.
Paddleboarding, always.
And I'm like, what? You did what? So anyway, I learned about that, and I just felt, so that's an example of somebody who felt like I like you, and
Yeah.
and apparently you were thinking the same thing.
Oh, give me chills.
Yeah. So, but we have all experienced that. We know it, but we've never put like real words to it. That is your biofield getting entangled. So that's a quantum energy term, entanglement, getting entangled with somebody else. And energy must and will always balance itself. So somebody like not as high as you in the energy will take from you, and then you'll both end up being like here.
Yeah.
But you want to stay up here. You didn't want to go down here, right? And they were down here and they came up here. So that's why you do things in the energy realm where you'll clear yourself, you'll ground yourself before you go to do any energy work, so that you aren't picking up other people's stuff. Okay, but back to the biofield. So when I learned this piece of it, and I probably didn't even like really, I have aha moments all through this whole thing. I've been doing this a little over 2 years. And this piece opened me up so much. So Eileen McCusick wrote a book. She's been working with tuning forks for like 30 years. And when I understood, and I already knew your biofield is out here, it starts with the spiritual realm, then you come into the mental, and then the emotional, and then it comes into your body.
Right.
So anything that you aren't addressing in those other realms have an opportunity to come in and manifest as an imbalance and an illness, like we call it dis-ease. And sadly, if your dis-ease continues long enough, it could turn into a diagnosis that we call disease. Okay, so as practitioners, our goal is, let's keep that field out here. Let's keep it nice and balanced, and we get people back into the perfect divine blueprint, because when it's chaotic, trouble ensues eventually, right? And even in the moment, if things are chaotic, I will tell you, this morning, I got some very disturbing news, and I could feel it, just the adrenaline, the this, the that, the confusion and all that. And I was like, okay. And plus, I know I'm going to be interviewed today. And I'm like, I can't show up here. So I'm immediately doing some deep breathing, but I'm also reaching for my software so I can pull up, speak into it. So inner voice is the one for emotions. 95 to probably 99% of everything you can just calm down with using the inner voice. So if you want to deal with the emotional stuff, you're going to go to inner voice. Okay. I spoke into it, and it evaluates at 10 seconds, and it evaluates 24,000 frequencies in my voice. And it doesn't matter if I sing song it, if I talk like a boy, if I do, I can do anything I want. I cannot hide my emotions. They are in your voice.
Yes.
So it's going to determine where you're overexpressing and underexpressing. So I'm gonna do a visual. Can you see me pretty good here?
Yeah.
So think of this as the sweet spot in your alignment. Okay, here's your alignment, and if you're hanging out like right in here, yeah, you're just in the flow. You're doing.
She's got her hands parallel going up and down. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, like a pillar right in front of you. And everything's going great. Life's clicking along. You're not getting disturbed by anything. You are so grounded and just like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, but not my junk. You know what I mean? Okay. But what happens is when that energy field gets disturbed, and it can get disturbed, like I said, being around people that create that, and you're a part of it, and you get entangled in it, or you eat toxic food, or there's a lot of reasons that your energy field.
Or you hear something that's disturbing, and then your mind makes it mean certain things, and then it's got your attention, your energy goes to what you're thinking about.
Watching network news is just fear porn, right? It's going to throw you out, right? Okay. So now we're out here, and we're like all tangled up, and we're confused, and we're this and we're that. So we want to come in and we want to find out, okay, where are you right now through your voice? We know where you're over expressing in some areas and under expressing. So let's listen. Let's compare those 24,000 frequencies we're capturing from your voice. We're going to align them up with the master blueprint frequencies that they just know. They just know what all these frequencies can do. And then we're going to give you something to listen back to. So you can listen to, the reason we give this free is it's an experience with one of the modules. It's a super powerful one that's been around since the beginning. This thing has grown since they launched 5 years ago. I mean, there's a lot more modules than they started with. And then you, on your own time, I call it the gift that keeps on giving, right? Because when you called and asked for help, I responded. You sent me your voice. It was super simple. I ran it through the program. I sent it back to you in email. And then you were free to lay there all day long in bed if you wanted and listen to them, you know? And hopefully they made you feel better and you got out of bed. But that's the power of that. And that's why I like to give that one, because it doesn't take a tremendous amount of time. I can do it over the phone and you get what you need immediately.
Yeah. Well, I think we should jump in and kind of work through these, you said 8 modules, giving the overview, and we'll stop at the inner voice. And I just thought it'd be interesting. I can do where my inner voice is today. Now, y'all, full transparency, my sound gal totally convinced me and I have a subscription now. So I'm going to share my screen. If you're watching on YouTube or if you're listening and you want to see this, great, but we'll try and make sure that you don't have to see it in order for it to make sense. So I've just got this pulled up, logged in as myself, and we'll just kind of go down and we'll stop at the inner voice. But the quick scan, you had mentioned that you usually do clearing. Maybe we should play the clearing. I don't know if it comes through on the sound, but we could do that.
Yeah, so I have a daily method of operation for myself, right? Heal thyself, right? You have to work on yourself too before you go out in the world and work on other people. Part of my daily method of operation is to clear, shield, and ground. And today I also did an EMF shield because I knew I'd be sitting in front of the computer with you. So those are the 3 things I worked on. Let me tell you what AO Scan is. The scanner itself is a powerful non-invasive frequency wellness device. It scans your body's current energetic patterns, and then it compares them to the optimal divine blueprint. And it does it in many different ways. Okay. It's going to send customized frequencies to help your body return to balance. And we call it optimizing. It is based on over 40 plus years of quantum physics, neuroscience, and biofeedback. And the cool thing is it's simple enough for the average person to be shown a few things and to be able to start helping themselves. We are self-empowerment. Yes, I'm a practitioner. Yes, if you don't want to do this yourself, I can give you a session and you can pay for it. But I think it's smarter for you to have it in your home and use it for yourself. Then you can help your children and your husband. I'm digress real quick. We had a nice testimony from a grandma today in our testimonies group. And this thing really helps her. She's got 3 little grandkids to take care of every day. And people are always like, how are you always stay so calm? And she's like,
Someone said that to me today.
Yeah,
I wonder if it's my AO scan. Someone said that to me today. How are you so calm? And I was like, I don't know. Great. That's neat. I love all the stories that you have. So yeah.
Thank you. So that's why we created that testimonies group in Telegram. So if anybody's interested, they can reach out and get on that group. It's public and you can see all the great things that we're doing out here in the real world. All right, let's start with, so quick scan. You can choose from these energetic auras. And then we have 3-minute boosts. So like, say you're just in a hurry and you're like, it's 3 PM and I'm sluggish. I'm going to put on the supercharger and it's going to get you awake again, amped, and you're going to want to probably feel like dancing. Focus. You're like, oh my gosh, I got to sit down at my computer. I've got to pay the bills and I'm just feeling scattered, right? So let's get focused. You could just need to relax. Sometimes I'll use that if I just feel antsy and I'm like, I need to just calm down a little bit, just hit the relax. Same with grounding. Grounding will do that for you too. Mm-hmm. And neuro aerobics is just going to help your brain to get stronger. So that's a real simple one, but I love that. Clearing, shield, grounding in 4.5 minutes. I have that done. And this morning I did it while I was putting on my makeup.
Yeah.
And then I did my inner voice and listened to it while I was getting dressed and doing some other things. So you don't have to like take a block of time to do this. You can literally just push some buttons and do whatever else you're doing.
Right. That's what I love about it too. Like I can do it for my phone, for my computer, and while I'm doing everything else that I'm doing. So Yeah. Let's talk about Easy Scan. That's
Yep.
down. Yeah.
All right. Easy Scan is great because it's going to bundle a few of these different ones together. So it makes it real simple for you in the morning instead of going to each separate one. But you can do each separate one if that's all you wanted. It's perfect for on the go support. And that is going to give you an inner voice within that. And it's going to give you a modified vital scan because our vital scan is very comprehensive, but it's going to give you a little shorter modified one. And this is important to do every day because it's great that it scans you and picks up where you're out, but we got to fix it. You know, information is great, but what are we going to do about it? And
Right.
so the next thing we let it do is we let it do the work of optimizing. It's going to go beep, boop, boop, up,
Yeah.
do all that stuff. And it's going up and down on the scanner. It's reflected as going up and down, scanning a ethereal female body or male body. It's putting everything back in alignment. So an optimized body is going to receive frequencies much better because
Yeah.
now we have other places we can go where we say, hey, now I'm going to put this frequency in me because like I'm having a hard time going to the bathroom, right? So you're going to want to give yourself some frequencies to get that thing going. Or I have a migraine. Okay, before you input those in, there's some things you want to do ahead of time to create an environment where you're going to receive that type of balancing frequency much better in your body. And that would, I do have to say, like a hydrated body is going to receive frequencies and use them much better than a dehydrated body.
I want to say just a couple of things as an experiential user of this. Like when I do the Easy Scan, one of the things that I noticed right away, it gives you food sensitivities for that moment in time. And I've done so much extensive like gut health research and protocols and all this stuff with functional medicine doctors, and it was so helpful. But what I didn't realize until it kind of clicked with using this is our body's always changing, and the inflammation I have today may look a little different than yesterday. Now there's some chronic things that are like over time, I'm pretty much always sensitive to this thing. But what I notice is, oh, today it might say, oh, corn is a sensitivity for you today. And that might show up on my, like my music, my inner voice notes to listen to.
Yeah.
And so I've just started like, oh, well, today I'm not going to eat corn. Typically, it's not an issue for me. So I think that's really fascinating to be able to adjust just for a day instead of like what I used to do when I got blood work done with food sensitivity. It's like, oh, I can't ever eat that again. Like, oh no, my life is over. I can't have dairy anymore. But I really think it's fascinating that it's not concrete when you're talking about inflammation in the body or how our body's responding that day. For all the reasons that you said, we have this emotional body, the spiritual body, the physical body, all of those things. Did I say that in a somewhat accurate way for someone that knows more about?
Yeah. And even chemistry, the moment they draw your blood, 6 hours later, they can draw your blood and have a completely different chemistry panel. Your frequency is always going to shift, I'm open today to getting a wonderful phone call to help balance out, other things. You know what I mean? I might get some great news later.
Yeah, it's fascinating. So tell us what vitals, just kind of go down this list for me.
Yeah, we got vitals. Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So vitals, it's like an energetic snapshot. It's going to scan and optimize everything. And it includes blood chemistry, your chakras and meridians, toxicities and inflammation, and giving you real-time awareness of how your body is functioning. And you can click on or off. You could just do 2 of those if you're interested in just kind of knowing a certain something. And we have to always remember this is an educational tool. It's not diagnostic. So it's just saying you're just a little out energetically here. Let's support it. Let's support it and get you back. Yeah.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah. And nothing we read should ever scare us or disturb us. It's not indicative of any real problem. It's just like today, let's just get a little bit better in balance.
Yeah.
Okay. So then comprehensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one does a deep dive scan. It looks at over 130 areas of your body. Now, when you do a comprehensive, be prepared. It's going to take a while to run. I think you get like a 27-page report. It's your organs, muscles, skeletal, arteries, veins, your brain, your chromosomes. It's like an energetic blueprint, and it's going to optimize all of those areas. And most people will do that maximum once a week to likely every couple weeks or a month,
Yeah.
because it's a big long thing. Then we can look at body systems, right? This is going to assess 13 systems of your body, from digestion to your cardiovascular system, hormones, and it'll provide real-time energetic assessment, again, along with an optimization of all those things.
Mm.
And by the way, our pets have biofields too.
Yeah.
Any sentient being, right? It's got its own energy biofield. So you can make your pet a sub account under you, pick what you want to work on, and then choose their profile and run all this on them.
I'm so glad you reminded me of that, because I want to do that with Mr. Socks for sure.
We have the funnest testimonies, especially around 4th of July, a lot of activity, people asking questions like, what can I do to keep my dog calm? It is so exciting when people are writing in like, what the heck? My dog is usually shaking and barfing and everything. And he's just sitting here on the couch right next to me like nothing's happening.
That's amazing. I love it.
Too fun. Too fun. Okay, so where we go next?
So I know we have Sephi and MindSync.
Yeah, so Sephi is
This one's big. This is like the custom playlist thing that you were.
With the work I do, I'm in Sephi all the time, because on this custom playlist, we can load it up with 15 different frequencies that we pull from all those areas in quantum Sephi. And so, yeah, I call them like recipes. You know, if you were really good with food and you're like, I'm just going to make up a recipe because I know how to cook, and you're going to give that recipe a name, but then you're going to also have to list the ingredients in it. That's what we're doing here. I'll give it a name like cancer-free.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go in and I'll put all these supportive frequencies towards that. And then I have a playlist that has 15 things in it. So instead of running one thing at a time and taking forever to get those into the body, we got a block of them going. So that's a wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then
what I love about this system too is if you're running out short on time, you can listen to a really loud, crazy sound for 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. and not have to spend the 30 minutes or whatever to listen to all of those tones.
True. Yeah, even 2 minutes can make a shift.
Mm-hmm.
Then on the miscellaneous Sephi, the energy homeoenergetics, that's the detox area. That's the only area I caution people. Everything we have in here is super gentle. That it doesn't do anything like abrupt and switch you over and all this. It's so gentle. It's gentle nudging frequencies that get you there.
Yeah.
In this area, that's the only area I caution people is like, don't do too many detoxes at once. And, don't throw 5 detoxes in and listen to them for 24 hours. That's a lot of detoxing. Pick a lane. Like, I'm going to work on my gut and work on that, a little while every day for a couple weeks, and then pick another lane to detox. I think you'll have best results then.
Yeah.
And then Sephi dots is really fun. We have these little holographic dots that you can put on yourself, and you can infuse them with any of the options that are in there. And you can walk around for 72 hours with the frequency you need, working on a meridian. It will tell you which meridian to stick it to. Mm-hmm. And that's nice. It's a nice thing. Yeah. And then AO Tune's got 74 frequencies in there. They've got solfeggios, planetary. That's fun to play with. One of the things we discovered since I got started because of pain, I tend to specialize in that. A lot of people come for me for pain relief.
Yeah.
And we have discovered along the way, again, back into the emotional realm, if we will focus on fears, anxiety, and guilt, mm-hmm. we can get the pain to drop. That's the first thing I work on before I ever go to an acute pain playlist or anything like that. I work on fears, guilt, and shame. And I'll see that number, like say they started I'm at a 9 pain, that we see that drop pretty quickly. So that's foundational for me before I start adding in things that are really that seem directly related,
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, let's go to MindSync and tell us about the activations, and then we'll do the inner voice to wrap up today.
Yeah. A lot of times people will ask me, is this like binaural beats? And I'm like, well, we have one area that is a lot like binaural beats, and
it's so much more.
So in MindSync, what it's going to do is everybody knows how powerful affirmations are. Like, that's why we've often come across, we should write them out. We should speak them out loud. I am whole, I am safe, I am,
Yeah.
powerful, all these things. Well, in here, you're going to record your own voice and you're going to have it play back with your headphones on at an 8 hertz difference. When you do that, you are forcing 8 hertz is theta, okay? And that's the Schumann resonance, the whole earth and everything is at 7.83 hertz. So now we're forcing the brain to think about this difference in this year versus this one. And what that does is it puts it right into your subconscious. So you are going to be able to like hurdle over these limitations that you have by talking about all these belief systems you have. The regular way we used to do it, it's great. It's good, right? You should be talking kind to yourself. You should be affirming that, you are everything you want to be and want to attain. But we also have a thing called the subconscious, which jumps in and it says, girl, I know you want to be your high school weight, but you're not, right? So we can say it, but so we need a little biohacking here. We need it to really get the conscious mind out of the way, the ugly, stinking thinking mind, and have it go right into the subconscious so our belief systems are affirmed much quicker.
I mean, that is so exciting. I as a mindset coach, this is so exciting because I always talk about how you can't jump from I'm fat and ugly and hate my body to I am beautiful and amazing. Like you have to step up the ladder so that it's not like sabotaging. You can't, your brain knows if you're lying to it. And so there's a need there to retrain your brain. And I think this is such a supportive tool. I can't wait to be using with my clients. So I love it. I just love it. Very cool, Wendy. Thank you. Well, shall we do our little test example today?
Yeah, let's do that. And then I would love to close with just a few testimonies. I worked on over 100 people like in the first year I was in this. And I think testimonies are powerful. That's why I want to drive people to Telegram. You can get a free account, download it from your app section, and then seek us out. You'll have really fun reading all this.
Send me the link to that channel and I'll put that in our show notes too. So look for that. Just want to check it out. Cool.
Okay. So are we taking my voice or are we going to do yours?
I'll do mine. You can tell us what it says. So I'm going to go ahead and click this microphone. I'm going to say I am in my name. So we'll just do it. So it's counting down. I am Katie Rupert and I'm here chatting with my sound gal, Wendy. I love her. I'm so excited to show this off and to tell all these listeners about, how this has helped me. Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, so it's doing a scan. I'm not really sure what sound picks up, if it's going to show us, or if that sound's going to pick up on the Zoom or not, but hopefully it does.
Yeah, I don't know if it will on the Zoom, but I can hear it.
Okay, I bet it will then. Yeah, good.
And it has me thinking it's a good time to tell you that the human auditory system only picks up somewhere between 20 hertz to 2000 hertz. So there's a lot of stuff that we have and do and give for support that almost sounds silent. It doesn't mean you're not receiving the help. You're receiving the vibrational energy of it, even though you're not auditorily hearing it. So a lot of people ask me, they're surprised to hear that I can help people remotely too. I've helped a lot of people just over the phone. And sometimes I help people who aren't even listening to what I'm sending them.
Yeah.
And that's a whole other discussion for another day. That's
right.
That's the incredible entanglement quantum physics thing going on.
So now do I click reports?
Yes, go ahead and click reports. And so I don't forget, we do have links where you can join us on like live Zoom calls where we educate on the history and science, or you can ask for a link for that. Because the whole goal is to get the education out there so you have a foundational understanding that it's real, it works. Look at the testimonies so you can see it's real, it works. Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is where you're overexpressing and underexpressing exhibited in a chart.
What we're looking at, there's these 12 zones and they all have like music notes associated with them. And it's a little graph and it's like different colors to show. So my report here, and we'll
yep, you said exactly what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
And then there's general information as you're coming down that has nothing to do with you in particular. It's just, it tells you what is this module. And by the way, at the top right, there's a question mark. If you ever get hung up on anything, what am I doing? What am I looking at? You can go and get caught up. And sometimes there's videos in there too. Okay. So in this one, it expressed an overexpression in note A. And as a general, this isn't Katie, but as a general, the positive emotions that would be expressed in this note are what you read here. The negative ones would be what you would see here. Our goal is if you're feeling any of those negative ones and then you do this work, that you're going to end up more in the positive zone. You know, you'll be able to report that you found there. Now, when we get to the next section, now it's very specifically reporting on where Katie's at in this moment. So it says, okay, you're overexpressing an A. Let's have you listen to D sharp. Okay, that's going to help pull that back to that zone, right? And if you have these gold glasses, which by the way, the company sells, you can put those on. And while you're listening, the gold, or you can, like if you have a gold sweater or a gold wall, whatever, focus on that. And it's going to support love, compassion, courage, wisdom, and illumination. Okay. Now, this is a no judgment zone. This does not mean like you have to take anything personally, but the emotions that are coming up in this moment are shame, guilt, and uncertain about love. Now, I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I've had people look at this and they're like, stop it. How does it know? And I'm like,
isn't that crazy?
You want to tell me what's going on? And then they tell me what's going on and they're like, but how does it know? And so, okay, then
one of the other things that's showing up on this report for those that can't see it, is food sensitivity, mushrooms. And one of the things that I know I've just correlated doing this over time is, like it says that mushrooms are a sensitivity for me today. Well, the last 2 days I've eaten mushrooms with a dish that I love, but I don't typically eat them. So my body's like, no mushrooms.
Or it just could be saying, I am picking up on that field. Because a lot of times people say, I just ate that this morning. Maybe I shouldn't have eaten that today. I'm like, no, it could just be, it's just knows it's in your field.
Okay. That's helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then under vitals. Okay. So I want to say this, every time I give somebody this, I send a corresponding video that my business partner, Connie, and I put together to teach you how to read this. This is not something you just read and know what you're reading. And I make people promise not to get upset because there's nothing to ever be upset about. And when you understand why, but that's a longer training. Okay. So under vitals, it's saying vitamin E, B3, B6. Now that could be because you just ingested that and it's picking up on that. Or it could be giving us information like maybe you need those, but we don't know today. We don't know today if you need those. This is one report. But what if we did this every single day? And then after 10 readings, eight of them are coming up with vitamin E, and you know you never take vitamin E. It could be an indicator you want to pay more attention to that.
Right.
Okay. All right. But one report means nothing ever because you may never see that again.
Yeah.
All right. And then it gives suggestions on how to improve on any of these areas. And just to shorten it up, there's 3 sections that I just explained here, different colors that show if you're out in C. Now we're going to want you to listen to F sharp, look at green. Here's some information that's going on there. Then we're going to have another one that's overexpressed. And then the 4th one is going to be the tone you need to listen to. These tones are beautiful because they're under. This section here is nice to listen to. It's underlaid. The tone is under the music, and the music is lovely. And you can pick from a bunch of different topics of music. So here's underexpressing fear, guilt, impatience. Anyway, so the goal, I tell people, don't focus on these reports now. The work is done in the listening. It's so simple.
And so simple. I've got my little listening thing. It's got those notes that we just went over, and then I'll just, click play 5, 10 or continuous. You can have it on the background. You can wear headphones, and you can pick different tones. Like I love piano, so the default one I usually listen to, but there's all kinds of different ones you can use as well.
Right.
It's so fast.
And then you can slide the left. You can slide the music to be louder and the tone softer. You can have full on tones, reduce the music. There's a lot to play with.
So one of the things that, just for listening today, if you would like to try out Inner Voice for free, you'll go to our show notes and you'll be able to click and connect and send us your voice. So I will put that in the show notes.
Great.
All right, Wendy, is there anything else you want to say to wrap us up?
Well, thank you so, so much allowing me to educate on my favorite subject in the whole wide world, besides talking about my grandkids. But anyway, this is important work to me. I think it's, like I said, I've been a hobbyist of nutrition for years, which naturally led into other modalities. So I'm not surprised this eventually came into my realm. I love talking about things I love. I love helping people. So it's perfect for me. And but what's more perfect is I like empowering other people to help themselves. I always say I'm one person with only 24 hours in the day and I can only do so much. So, but if we can put a tool in your hand and show you how to use it, then, then we can help a lot of people. And I have been. I want to share some of my favorite stories because I love it because I didn't really hardly knew what I was doing. Like when I got started, like I didn't know a lot. I just kind of believed in this because of what I had experienced. So I was just going on, I call it ignorance on fire, right? So like, hey, yeah, let me try to help you. Like, I don't know, let's do. I was asked within days of telling somebody what I was doing. I got a text and she said, I told my sister what you do, and she's been in a lot of pain. And do you think that you could help her? I'm really concerned about her. It's been going on a long time. I said, absolutely. I always want to try to help somebody. And so we got together a few days later, and I just started doing some of the basic stuff that I knew to do then. We didn't even have this checklist that we have now. Now we have this point by point by point by point that really helps people walk through the process. But anyway, did what I did. And I was working on her neck area. She had like a bulge and a pinched nerve. And I guess the entire time it took me was maybe 45 minutes. At this point, she turns to her sister like this and she says, wow, I'm feeling really good. And then her sister is like, you just turned your head. And she's like, oh, I guess I did. And then she starts doing this. Now she hadn't done this in months.
Wow.
And she starts going, oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Oh. And I was told later that her family noticed that all her color came back into her face. I didn't know her well enough to know that she was ashen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They said, oh my gosh, her color's back, everything.
Amazing.
This lady to this day, it's been over 2 years, still listens to her inner voice that she was given every single day. And she says it's the best part of her day. She gets up, she does her yoga, has her inner voice going. Her 3 cats run in, jump up on a desk to listen. That's their favorite part of the day too. And then I was able to help a friend's husband remotely who had chest compressions. They thought he had had a heart attack. And he was very, very sore and bruised up. And I helped him over the phone. I wasn't even on Zoom. He was just listening. And he was chuckling during it. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, I feel like something's cracking open in my chest. It doesn't hurt. I feel like this is breaking up and going somewhere.
Wow.
Now, what I loved about that was he was an absolute skeptic. He would not allow me to do it. His wife kept encouraging him and he just kept blowing it off. And finally he was tired. And then anyway, so she's been using the scanner every day for like over 2 years now because we turned the skeptic into a believer. Wow. And I helped a gentleman had a heart murmur of 6 and he had to go to the doctor on Friday to get checked again. I helped him on a Thursday night. He went on Friday and it was a 3 and they agreed to give him his hip surgery because the heart murmur was down. And that was real important to him. He was in his 70s in an extreme amount of pain. So they were saying no until we were able to help him in a way that the doctors could say yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so many. You have so many of these stories too. It's really inspiring. And what I love, about what I do sounds very similar to yours. It's like, it's not me doing this. I just believe in the tools until they can believe in them, like I do with human design and the body code. For you, this is just, even if they don't, if they just have that little, okay, fine, let's try it. Like it just is.
That's enough intention. I tell people you don't have to believe it. The fact that you're in front of me is enough intention that you want to receive something good today.
Yeah.
So intention is everything. But you brought up a good point, a really good thing to close on. I'm not doing any of your healing. My scanner's not doing any healing. The software's not healing you. The software is clearing your body and giving it an environment where your God-given natural healing abilities
Can heal
are
it.
going to be able to work.
That's right. That's right. I believe that's to my core. I know it's true. I got chills on my body because I just know that our bodies were designed in such a way to be able to heal themselves. So we just got to get out of the way. And that's what these tools are for. And I'm so intrigued by them. And like, you're just a living example of being that conduit, being that person that can help that person get out of the way. And
thank you. I come to everybody very humble. I know it's not me. I have been given an opportunity to partake in the healing arts industry, which makes my soul sing.
yes,
I am the luckiest person on the planet to be able to be doing this. Honestly, like, I don't know what else I would do. I'm semi-retired. I don't know what else I would do if I weren't doing this. I know what I was planning to do, and I dropped it cold turkey and said, no, I'm not running there. I'm running over here. And I'm so glad I did. So it is an honor to be. Yeah, thank you. It's an honor to be in this industry. It's an honor to help people that need it. And so anybody's going to reach out for that inner voice, we are happy. We're waiting for you.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, Wendy, thank you so much. I mean, we could talk over and over, so we may need to do this again, like you said. Thank you for sharing and spending your time with us to help us understand. And I can't wait. You're going to have so many more stories. Don't miss out on joining that Telegram group. It's free. You can just join. It's like an app on your phone, and it doesn't take a ton of space or anything like that. I have it on my phone for little chats and stuff. Join that so you can read a little bit about it, especially if you're intrigued or you've got someone that really needs some support and normal ways haven't been helping. I will get all Wendy's information up in the show notes. Make sure you check her out. And then head over to the Facebook group, the Inspired by Design Facebook group, and tell us what you think of this episode, what your questions are. You could submit a question on my Google form that's in the notes as well. And we want to meet you where you are and answer your questions. So thank you. Thank you, Wendy, for your time and all that you do for our community as well.
It's my pleasure. Very much a labor of love. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. All right. That's all we have for today. Thanks again for listening.
Thanks for tuning in to Inspired by Design with Katie Rupert. If today's episode sparked something in you, I'd love to hear about it. Share your takeaways, subscribe, or even leave a review to help others find the show. For more tools and insights, visit my free Facebook group. And until next time, keep embracing exactly who you are and move forward one inspired action at a time.